this meeting to order, and just as a reminder, this is a call meeting, we don't normally do, the pledge and the prayer and all that for a call meeting, so we're just gonna go ahead and start with a roll call, Ms. Phillips.
Vice Mayor Dale,
Present.
Alderman Elder, Alderman Langford,
Here.
Alderman Linder,
Here.
Alderman Proctor,
Here.
Alderman Rubel,
Here.
all present except Alderman Elder.
Okay, next on the agenda, do we have anyone here for public comments? Okay, moving along, we're gonna go ahead and go with item number one, waiting on, Mr. Evans to join us. We're gonna go on with the second reading of the fiscal year 26-27 budget. And we had a work session, but I'm gonna have Joel come back up to the podium just to see if there are some additional questions and maybe go over just any of the general changes from last meeting that might need to be highlighted.
Okay, in our work session, we identified a few rollovers from beginning or ending balance, fund balance to the beginning balance of the next fiscal year, so I'm gonna make a few corrections on those. Does not change the, over-under on how much is being spent. It only just clears up the beginning and ending fund balance of each respective year presented on the report from the budget. Are there any questions?
Just something that I want to, go ahead, Parker.
Before we vote on it, I would like to offer something that we can do, because Bill and I were talking over here, and we can't keep raising the property taxes. Even if we raise them, we still come out with, and don't get me wrong, I think the city employees need raises. But I would like to see us form some type, or Laura, you form some type of committee with the department heads and some members of the council to see what we can do to reduce the cost of our existence, to cover where we don't have to raise property taxes. I'd be happy if you would consider that and see what we could do, because it takes a lot of money, and I'm one of those, I got a private pension, and I've been retired a long time, but it has dropped in purchasing power 25%. So everything's higher, and we need to see if we cannot reduce our expenses or increase our revenue. Although we don't control too much of our revenue except property taxes. See if we can't find some way to reduce the cost for next year to where we don't have to even consider giving a property tax increase.
And I think that's a great idea. Generally in our departments, I think we did a fairly good job at staying under, and I've been looking at that. But, obviously a budget or a committee to look for ways for saving is a good idea. So a couple of things I did want to point out that we were going to add or that are inside this budget is I am proposing a 5-cent tax increase that was in the revenue. But I handed each of you a piece of paper that kind of showed that if you have the proposed 5-cent increase would go from 1.1396 to 1.1896. And if your property value is $100,000 whole year, your increase amount is $12.50. So, you know, and I would love not to do that too, but like we say, everything is, everything that we do right now is a lot more expensive. And even just what we had to increase with our Tennessee Consolidated Retirement this year, an increase of 2.77% is costing the city $72,000 just for that. So, anyway. Additionally, in addition to that, I am asking to return my car to the police fleet and have a vehicle allowance of $750 that would be spread between general and gas and water funds.
I want to ask this, but at $750 for the year or $750 per month?
$750 a month.
Well, my deal is on the property tax. 5% comes out to $79,000. 3% we done is figured in there for the employees increase. That comes to 77,000 once. So you're not really gaining no ground. I really think we need to look at the pay scale. I may be wrong on what I'm about to say, but the lady that done that, I think a lot of us was left hanging with unanswered questions, and it just got started. And yes, the employees' needs increases, everything rises every year. But I had some telephone calls. There's people out there that has their neighbors pay their taxes because they can't afford it. I mean, if you take a $16 employee, and I'm not saying everybody needs to work, so don't take this the wrong way. Time you pay your payroll tax and your wages, one employee will cost this city roughly $44,000 to $50,000. Two, if someone quits, let's look at it hard before we replace them or the supervisor says, oh, we need to. Do we really? I mean, that's just my opinion.
And just to let you know, in the, that has happened in some cases that are regarding the general fund, this year. You know, by attrition, there have been a couple of spots that we have not refilled this year, so.
Oh, Lord, employee cost is usually not where the most of the cost is. It's in your materials and utilities, whatever. So I think we need to look hard at the other things other than just considering. Bill, it's a good suggestion, what you said, but, I mean, the bulk of our budget, at least 50% of it, is other than salaries.
I disagree. If you watch your material and labor, you'll print money.
That's what I just said, material.
But you didn't say labor.
I didn't say labor, but I said employee cost, and that is labor, I think, Bill.
Payroll is a large piece of the pie as well, for sure.
Like
The payroll just in general funds, 2,700,000 this year. What was one budget?
Just one clarification, I believe, Bill, you mentioned a 5% increase, it's technically a 4.4. It's a 5-cent increase, I think that's what you're thinking of, it's calculates to a 4.4% increase.
other questions for Joel?
I do want to say one more, and then I'm done. Looking at this budget, last year's budget, you guys did do a good job. I will say that. It's improved. Good work.
Thank you.
We try to be conservative and try to be spot on at the same time.
He's done a good job on this.
Okay, anything else for Joel? Okay. Well, I will entertain a motion regarding the budget.
Motion to approve the budget.
We have a motion on the table for Alderman Bell for approval of the 26-27 budget. Do I have a second?
Did somebody second? I'm sorry, my hearing.
Not yet.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a second by Alderman Proctor. Any further discussion?
First of all, I think the mayor needs to keep her car. You probably do more traveling and important traveling than any employee that we've got in the city. And if $10,000 is gonna make a difference or something, we'll buy you a new car instead of park yours. Then number two, I'm getting phone calls that, I know everything costs more this year than it did last year, but it also costs the taxpayer. I had a 93-year-old lady call me and said, are you gonna put more on me? And, what do you tell them? So, I mean, I can probably make it, but, somehow or another, I think the city just needs to suck it up and go with what they got. I'm gonna vote no.
Okay, Bill. Go ahead.
May I ask Andre a question?
Sure.
I read something this week, scrolling through as I do in Tennessee law and all. And I read a paragraph where people can, after they reach age 65, can get their property taxes frozen. Excuse me, at a certain income level. Would-
I'm not familiar with that, but
Would you check that out for me?
we can look into that.
Because that would take care of a lot of our problems, if that is true. I don't know. I may have misread it, but I'd appreciate it.
I'll make a note and look into it and let you roll that.
Okay, Ms. Phyllis, let's do a roll call, please.
Alderman Langford,
No.
Alderman Linder,
No.
Alderman Proctor,
Yes.
Alderman Rubel,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Bell,
Yes.
motion passed.
Okay. One more thing on the agenda, we have a resolution, I'm gonna try to call Ray Evans and just put him on speaker because we're having difficulties connecting, so. Hey, I'm gonna put you on speaker, okay? All right, thanks. Okay. Can you hear us, Ray?
I can.
Okay. You're on for the resolution 2026-6-1.
You're on for the resolution 2026-6-1. You're on for the resolution 2026-6-1.
I think your computer is on, if you wanna just turn that off.
Okay.
There we go. Okay.
So the resolution that you have before you is a resolution to allow the mayor to enter into contract with Thompson Enterprises, Jamestown, to perform the site prep services for the City Industrial Park lot on Tennessee Avenue. We were very fortunate, let me back up. So recall that this is a project that is funded primarily by a grant from the Tennessee Department of Economic and Community Development through their site development grant program. And we were very fortunate to have received 12 bids on the 18th of May. All but one were below our consulting engineer's estimate. And Thompson Enterprises of Jamestown was the low of those 12 at $475,000. We were delighted by that number. The mayor and I have vetted this company. We checked their references. We had a good interview with the owner of the company, and we feel comfortable that they are qualified to do the work that's required, and we would recommend that the board of Mayor and Alderman approve the resolution as proposed.
This isn't a matching grant?
It is a matching grant. It's a I think it's a 90-10. Could be, it's either 90-10 or an 80-20, but the vast majority of the funds are provided by the state.
And after the 475,000, that's gonna leave 525 for what?
Well, so that's a discussion we'll have with the state. We have some reason to believe. Let me back up again. At sort of the last moment before we bid this project, we got a little bit cautious, and because of the bids that we've seen recently, and the cost of construction, we removed a few elements from the project. We were going to extend water and sewer from Tennessee Avenue up to the pad itself. And this is for 100,000 square foot industrial building pad and about 100 or so parking spaces as well, but just grading and drainage only. We removed those items, and we also reduced the amount of what I would call maintenance done on the project as well. We believe that once this is awarded, that the state is going to allow us to expand this contract to add those items back in, as long as we stay under the grant limit.
That makes sense.
How much these other grant was for?
$1 million.
$1 million?
Yeah.
And, it's either a 10% or a 20% match.
It's 10.
It's
Yeah,
10,
it's
so it
10.
cost us 100,000. Where's the 100,000 come from?
Well, we do have some funding in the industrial development, fund that we were gonna look into using for this.
And let me remind the board that you all approved the application of this grant and the matching funds some time ago.
So this pad would be available to someone to purchase and put a building on?
That's correct.
So
Right.
if and when it sells, we'll get our money back?
Correct. Yeah.
Do we have is there a potential buyer for it?
Not yet. We're constantly getting, information from companies that might want to locate here.
Is this just for the
we've got plenty in the industrial development fund to cover that.
To
Because
cover
it might
that.
not end up being $100,000 if the project doesn't end up using all the million, so it'll be 10% of whatever we use.
Right, right, but
So,
what we,
but up to
but we
that,
can,
so.
we can cover
Oh,
100,000.
yes, yeah.
Okay. I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Okay? All right, hey, Ray. I'll let you on for just a second, I'm gonna steal your mic. So, okay, so we have a motion by Alderman Linder, to accept, resolution 2026-6-1, and have a second by Alderman Rubel. Let's take a roll call, please.
Alderman Linder,
Yes.
Alderman Proctor,
Yes.
Alderman Rubel,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Dale,
Yes.
Alderman Langford,
Yes.
motion passed.
Okay, so motion passes. Ray, thanks for presenting.
Sorry for the confusion with the Zoom call.
No problem. Thank you. Sit back on there. Okay, the only other thing that I wanna mention is we will have, we'll need to have a call meeting on June 29th to go over some budget amendments. And I think that's all else I wanted to say. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make the motion.
Let's see, beat you to it. So,
Second.
motion made by Alderman Linder to adjourn, second. Second by Alderman Dale, all in favor? Motion passes, meeting adjourned.
Yes, that was nice.